Welcome to the Multichain Nation. Today, we're thrilled to have Yi, our senior product manager from dYdX, decentralized exchange, that's using Axelar to provide scalable cross-chain communication platform for them to seamlessly connect with other blockchain ecosystems. Yi, let's get into it. Tell us a little bit about dYdX and what you're doing there.
Hi. So like Rudy said, my name's E. I'm a senior product manager on the onboarding token and engagement team at dYdX. So pretty much anything not core trading related, or you might have seen our new like Trade Anything initiative. Anything that's not that, I'm working on. Um, in the past, I have worked on some of the core trading stuff. So yeah, really excited to be here and chat.
Nice, nice. And it's pretty amazing what you're doing because it's such a project has grown tremendously. There's a lot of activity going on. And speaking of different blockchains and different projects, trying to create this platform that can talk to any ecosystem. How are you using Axelar and its ecosystem to provide dYdX with that cross chain capabilities?
Yeah. I guess to preface, we are pretty much a software developer. So we try to build software that other people or companies or deployers will be interested in deploying. And so the instance I'm sure everyone is most familiar with is dYdX Chain. So that one, I think the goal is pretty much so people don't really feel like they are on a very chain specific kind of platform. We want it to feel like anyone can come from whatever chain on board and be able to use the features. Um, with that, Axelar is super helpful because pretty much you can come from any EVM chain or also like you can swap into whatever it is on Cosmos and then end up using your assets on dYdX pretty seamlessly. It really takes a lot of the thinking out of the actual end-to-end depositing or withdrawal process. So you don't really have to worry about doing all the steps yourself. You don't have to bridge from ETH to Cosmos yourself, for instance, and then get those funds on the dYdX chain. It's kind of just a one-click solution. So it's been great working with Axelar through our routing partners to get users this seamless experience.
Yes, and I feel like that's been a topic of conversation for crypto for so long as onboarding, make it easy, reducing the different types of friction just to get a wallet to go to some exchange to do a transaction and talk to this other blockchain. So, in your role, how is your, thought process and when building out a new product or just trying to make it easy for others to join? What goes on through your head about the onboarding experience?
Yeah, I would say this kind of has shifted a bit in the recent past. I think before my understanding were people who would use the deployed software were probably people who are already in crypto and they'd be willing to deal with a lot of the hurdles that are involved with depositing or bridging or whatever. I realize that's not really the bar we should be aiming for. We should be aiming for the most seamless experience, like almost Web 2 like, if I could say. So, yeah, I think our goal now is just to get users to be able to onboard as quickly as possible and as affordably as possible. That's kind of been what's leading our thinking here.
Yeah, it's definitely true because in Ethereum and I mean a lot of blockchains now are realizing the effect of mass transactions and how expensive that can get. So a lot of people are trying to solve for that, and yeah, keeping it cost effective is really important. Now, when you know developers are trying to build off the dYdX chain and building off your project, what is that experience like for them if they're coming in looking to implement dYdX and they look on your website and they're thinking, okay, what is like the path for them?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's super exciting. So if you aren't aware, dYdX is actually fully open source from not only the protocol code to the front end code, but even the design system is open source. So we get really excited when we hear from people on Discord or on Twitter saying that they want to build on top of what is already in existence, or they can do this either by just submitting some PRs on their own, which honestly, if that happens, I can't guarantee that we'll actually get to seeing it and merging it quickly enough because we are pretty swamped here, always have to be building. But there have been some community members who have been more vocal and got in touch with us. And whether it's through grants or just because they want to, they've been building on top of our software. So we've actually had quite a few people help out with this. I know right now we have Kepler, building a Kepler wallet integration for us. That's in the works, and hopefully we can get that merged soon. We've also had some third party kind of like dev shops who are pretty big, uh, like developing in the Cosmos space, build various pages for us as well. They just kind of submit their PR as we merge, and it's been awesome. So yeah, if you have interest in building on our open source repo, you should definitely reach out or apply for a grant.
Yeah. That's a fun part about open source too. Just the amount of people who can come up with their ideas and just start building without delay and kind of work with the team so closely, and you can help them also succeed in their mission. It's a beautiful thing to see, and I'm excited that dYdX is allowing that and also encouraging people to come in and submit.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Also, like, we just don't have that many engineers on the dYdX trading team. So we always are pleasantly surprised when there are people who just seem to kind of know what is best for the software and decide to just apply for a grant and start doing it. Like, it's always so nice to see.
That's the beauty of open source. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's like what we love in Ethereum and what we love in different blockchains too is just having like smart minds from all over the world being able to come in and read the code and say, "Oh yeah, this can be done differently," rather than like traditional Web 2 where you're looking at how transactions are done and you're thinking to yourself, "This can be done so much better," but I I can't do anything about it, which is like feels bad.
Yeah. Or like you can't even tell how transactions are being done because everything's like in a black box in Web 2, or a
Yep.
lot of financial things are.
So now that you're like developing dYdX, it's growing a lot. I'm sure it's grown so much from 0 to 1, and now you probably have a whole roadmap ahead of you. What are some future plans that you have in line? What are you excited for dYdX?
Yeah. One of our biggest new releases is going to be something called dYdX Unlimited, I believe. Um, Pretty much, we are going to be really, um, I don't know, just trying to find a way to deliver a product that people actually find like really valuable, that like they want to use, that's like easy. So I think one of the biggest features here will be sort of a mega vault, or kind of a vault of vaults. Basically, it's just you dump your money in it. There's APR, and yeah,
Oh,
it should
nice.
be good for users. It should work similar to how Hyperliquid's vault works, and we think that users will be excited about this. It kind of takes a lot of the effort out of, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people don't necessarily want to trade; they just want to find a way to get yield. So
Yep.
that's a great way. We're also looking into permissionlessly listing markets. So that's something that we've been talking about for a while. I think if we can put the power in users' hands to decide what they want to list, any asset they want, and if it gets listed, then it really helps to, just people can actually just trade anything. They don't have to wait for an exchange to list a certain asset, or they don't have to go looking on super sketchy, like go to various chains to kind of find it. They can just trade it on dYdX. Um, some other exciting things, we are going to be launching an affiliates program.
Nice.
So that will be hopefully helpful for the growth engine. I know we traditionally had some pretty good volume, but I would say we could, I would say like the deployed instance could, use some more users, or I guess like as we are ramping up for a bull run,
Mm.
we expect more traders to enter the space. So it'd be awesome to capture some of those. And then finally, I think we're also thinking of ways to implement permission keys, which basically just allows you to better control who and what they can do on the exchange or with a certain wallet address. So lots of exciting stuff. That's all like the major points, but there are a lot of small things coming as well, such as instant deposits, a UI refresh, and all of that.
Wow, that's I love it. Like that's a lot happening really quickly, and with a small team, I love how lenient it is, and also not only that, but the people who are watching dYdX and contributing from the outside. It's a great thing to see happen. And for someone who is new into the crypto space, they're looking to exchange their funds. What's the easiest way for them to onboard onto dYdX?
Yeah, I actually think the easiest way to onboard onto dYdX right now is via Coinbase. That pretty much will be, I think it's free and yeah, it's definitely free and it's pretty much instant. So if you do have a Coinbase account, it's the fastest way. If not, I think it's a toss up depending on the chain and the asset. If you're coming from Avalanche, for instance, and you use USDC, it should be pretty darn fast. If you're coming from some other chains like Ethereum, it's just slow generally. So honestly, I feel like users should stop using Ethereum if they want speed. Um, and other than that, I think our deposit times just kind of vary depending on the chain and asset. So it's hard to say, but the top two, the two I gave, Coinbase and then USDC on Avalanche should be the quickest way to get trading.
Nice. And for any community members that want to get involved with dYdX, where do they find you? How do they contribute? And what do you want to see from the community the most?
Yeah, if you want to contribute or just find us, honestly, just come to our Discord and our Twitter. It's maybe it's because we're in a bit of a local bear. I'm not sure. But our Discord's not getting like spammed every single day with too many messages that I can't keep up. So I pretty much will be in there and I'll be chatting with people, answering questions. If you want to contribute, very happy to see how I can support. Um, and then separately, our Twitter could use some more love too. So if you want to be a louder voice in the community, like share our stuff. Um, and yeah, just be vocal about what dYdX is.
Yeah. And it's like I think community is like one of those special things where you you're like, oh, like this is amazing. How does no one else see it? But then at a certain level, it like upticks and it catches that like hockey stick where everyone starts to really push your product, your brand, and they start to understand the culture you're developing. And like being part of Discord is great, being part of Twitter is great. I kind of want to learn a little bit more about the culture you're trying to develop too.
Yeah, honestly, I guess on the dYdX training side, we're mostly just software developers. So I guess as an individual, I kind of want to be a sort of, well, I would see myself as kind of like a fun little community member. I like came from the NFT space originally, so I kind of have that I don't know, degen, maybe like 2021, 2022 WAGMI energy. And I like bringing that uh, to the community. I think so. dYdX Foundation owns the community, I guess, as a whole. And I think for them, they're just trying to like start, I think they're trying to see what that community should really look like. I think for a while, maybe things were a bit dead. So I think they're just trying to rebuild that up. But what kind of, I don't know, in an ideal world, what kind of community? Oh, I don't know. I think it would like a community of like people who know how to trade with like a touch of degen and a lot of like fun slash good energy would be ideal. I don't what's the Axelar community like? I'm just curious.
I think everyone there is just loving to see the ability to talk to different blockchains, like interoperability that blockchain was supposed to live off and thrive off. I feel like died a little bit a couple years ago when it was so competitive on like whose chain is better. Now it's like build whatever chain you want. Axelar is going to be there to help make it work together, and it's bringing that good vibes into where people can finally work together instead of fighting each other. And it's just a much more organized, collaborative community. And that's what I like a lot too, because I've missed that in crypto. It's been like that. It was like that in the beginning, and then it totally transformed after the ICO and blockchain and DeFi summer. It kind of got very competitive, and then now with NFTs and all these different chains who have who are community based are starting to realize like, oh, let's keep building community rather than fighting over tech.
Yeah, I think it's true. And especially for us too, like we are just building open source software. So theoretically, like anyone can just literally copy pasta what we do or just I don't know. Yeah, and just run with it. So I guess like the people who are loyal are just going to be community members at the end of the day.
Because it feels good. Loyalty feels good. It's just like it's what people in a human nature crave on is community growth, loyalty, and working together. Love it. Is
Yeah.
there anything else that you want to share from dYdX, and also where people can find you?
Um, I don't know. I feel like dYdX has a lot of exciting stuff coming up. I also think that we have such an incredible team. The whole ecosystem as a whole is like very talented. The different parts, there's like the operation sub DAO, there's a foundation, there's trading. I think everyone is super talented, and yeah, just don't lose hope on us yet. Who cares if the token price is down, whatever. Like, we're all just trying to build something awesome in the crypto space. So yeah, keep watching. As for where to find me, I have a dYdX Twitter, I guess. I think it's just dYdX. So you can find me there. Um, yeah, I guess
Nice, we'll link it.
that's kind of all I have. But I guess I'm kind of curious. I don't know if there's time on this recording, but what is Axelar planning for the future?
There are so many projects coming out, and I'm speaking to them weekly on what they're building, how they're building, and the opportunity that Axelar gives them in terms of cross communication. And if it's not within Axelar directly, it's with protocols or projects that are using Axelar, like Squid. I think that's what you're using too. So it's amazing how it doesn't even have to be direct, but just the ecosystem is so big, it's probably touching Axelar somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. I think the very first onboarding, offboarding option that we had and is has been the consistent foundation or like under the hood for deposits since we started dYdX chain or the software is like using Axelar. And then eventually, like CCTP came in and then like
Mm-hmm.
Coinbase came in and now we're looking to fast deposits. But yeah, without y'all, it would have been rough in the beginning.
I'm glad it's been proven helpful. But yeah, thank you again, Yi, for joining on the show. Thank you for so much for developing, building, contributing to the blockchain crypto ecosystem as a whole, and bringing yourself and your energy. And I'm excited to see how dYdX develops.
Yeah, awesome. So great to chat with you here too.